Hey guys, so I want to be starting a bit of a new short series on web development, mostly just HTML and CSS and JavaScript stuff. Because in the next semester, uh, we're gonna be doing web development in the course that some of us will be doing. Yeah, sorry for the mic quality and stuff like that. I'm using a microphone from a headset, and it's not really that good, so I don't really have a proper mic. So you might need to turn the volume up. Okay, so we're gonna just be for this course, just like this short course, just designing a fake website for uh maybe I'm gonna do Walkman because I like 80s stuff and they were a very big thing in the 80s, so we're gonna just make a fake website for Walkman. So I would use Visual Studio Code. You don't have to use it. I like it because it's very easy to use. Like it's very user friendly and stuff like that. You don't have to use VS Code though to make a website. I mean, you could use Notepad Plus, which I actually used initially to make websites when I was starting off. Or, I mean, if you want to flex on your friends, you can just use like the basic Notepad, like the Notepad, and then find a way to convert it. Okay, so what's best is just like say you're working with a client, right? And you want to build a website. First, we have to uh, understand the parts that make up a modern website. Back in the day, most webs like I think 2001, 2003, when websites were starting out, and that website only had about all the website had was HTML. And like you would notice when like if you're doing research or projects and that you get these very old websites that look very like basic like just go website from 2003. Hmm, sorry, bad connection. My show is website from 2003. Oh my. Well, anyway, just to illustrate it, they would have looked very for their time. They were very good, but they're very basic website from 2003. Okay, well, basically they were just consist of HTML, but it was just solely this back then in a website. But in a modern website, they have HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. That's what a modern website has. And we're going to be working with these three elements for this fake website. But right now, I'm going to focus on HTML. So with HTML, think of it like a house, right? Think of a website like a house. Your HTML is basically the foundation of that house. Basically, all your frames and stuff like that, the bricks and all that, that's your HTML. That's what it's going to be built up on. Your CSS is just adding all of the, like, the flair and like all the nice bits, you adding paints and stuff like that. You're making your website look nice and modern and stuff like that. And then JavaScript is adding all of these added features, like pop-ups or that dinosaur game you get when Google won't let you connect to internet, which I'm struggling with, and or adding other stuff like unique slides and that. But right now we're going to be focusing on HTML. And what a good thing to do, uh, just like when you're doing coding and using pseudocode, it's good to just draw out what your website's going to look like. So we're going to do one for Walkman. And what we're going to do is we're just going to plan out what a website's going to look like. So here's our crudely drawn website. And then our clients, they say, okay, so here's the website, right? they want the website to have a box at the top here, a box at the top with the company name over here. A box with the company name up here. Underneath it, they want another box, and the box will have 3 sections. And that section will have uh, an about page. Right now we're designing the home page. Okay, this is about, so I'm not going to write that. An about page, product, and mm, social media, whatever. And then each one of these are going to have links on them. And then underneath here, they want to have uh, a paragraph over here about who their company is, stuff like that. Actually, you know what? If it's going to be about who the company is here, then we don't need an about page, you know. We'll change it to something else. But right now, this will just be like a little idea what the company is, and maybe a picture on the side over here of the company, Walgreens based in Japan. And then underneath here, we're also going to have 3 sections of boxes of each one having a Walkman picture. Yeah. And what they wanted to be like is that, okay, so when you go over these boxes here, they will dim black and then highlight. But right now, we're going to just uh, build all of this at the moment with uh, HTML. So you can open Visual Studio Code or Notepad. Actually, before that, what's best to do is on your desktop anywhere, just create a new folder. I'm going to call this one website. So that's, for tutorial. And what you can do, which is cool with VS Code, you can just click and drag and then add the folder to your workspace. And it says, do you want to add the folder to workspace? And just say yeah. And then there you go. So then underneath here, I'm just going to add, well, this is just for the tutorial. You can add another folder within this folder if you want to do multiple websites. But right now, I'm just going to add a new file. We're going to call this one index.html. And you see with VS Code, it has this cool little icon to show you, oh, I'm working with HTML. Now, just to save time, we're also going to do style.css. This is for our CSS. This is what's going to make our website look nice. And then we're going to do one final one. This is going to be our script.js for JavaScript. Okay, so right now we're on HTML. Now, VS Code has this neat thing where if you press this, press Shift and then press exclamation points, it will give you these exclamations here. If you click on that, it already auto generates the HTML code already, which is very useful. But like I'm saying, it's good to just learn this, like I'm using VS Code because it saves time in that. Because normally when we working and stuff like that, especially if you're doing front end development, it saves a lot of time just to do this. Because normally you would have done this and then doc type like it's doing, space HTML like this, right? And then you would have done HTML. You see, you would need make two of these, and then you would have done your title, and then underneath that you would have done your body. So this would be the HTML file, and then everything is contained into it like this. This would be your title. Your title would be when you open most websites, they have like this little descriptor here. That would be your title, and then you'd have your body. Your body is everything inside. Sorry about that. Because think of HTML like this. HTML, or most think of websites like as a scroll, basically. Like I don't know if I can draw here. Okay, just yeah. Think of it like this long sheet of paper, right? And basically everything you're doing on each line that's going to appear, that's going to be on the paper. So right now, it's not like this other. Okay, well, okay, I don't want to confuse people. Just think of it like you're basically doing this thing on a sheet of paper as you go. Okay, so just gonna edit all this out, and then we're gonna do this. So we're gonna do the dark type like this. You don't really need this, you know. Well, okay, you don't really need this part up here. Yeah, yeah, you don't need. Okay, I messed up here. Okay, here's this head part. That's what adds this. Yeah, you need to put that in your title. Okay, so what you need to do is if you're using Visual Studio Code, go to your extensions and then search for live server. Mine should pop up there. Here you go. Okay, just waiting for the icon to load. Yeah, search for live server and install it. What live server is just going to do is it's going to make it so when you open the website, like let me demonstrate it to you now. I'm going to go back to this. Let's just go back to this file. I'm going to right click here and then go open of live server. And I look, there's an empty document right now here. Okay, yours is going to be white if you're not using dark mode. But it's just so when we're editing or like making the website, we don't have to keep reloading this page all the time just to see any changes. Because when I was using Notepad, what I would do was I would do the stuff on Notepad and then go back to the Open Google Chrome and then press reload just to see my changes. I couldn't see it side by side. So we're just gonna do this. Okay. So right now we are on HTML. So now we're gonna do a fake website for Walkman. And by the way, I'm not sponsored by Walkman and stuff like that. I just wanted to do the website because I thought their product was cool. So then we do type Walkman. Yeah, we save. And now if you check the live server, it's already updated. Okay. Mine's is gonna look a bit different because mine stuff is in dark mode. I just prefer it, It looks nice. Also, light mode is kind of the same. Okay, so now we're just gonna do the first part of this. Our name in the box. Now, there are these things in HTML called divs, which show for dividers. Each one of these boxes that we're gonna do now is in itself a divider. So we're just basically cutting the stuff in here. So like this is a divider, these are dividers, this is a divider, this is a divider. Each one's gonna have its own divider. Now this is a cool thing you can do in VS Code, where if you just go dots and then you name the things. I'm gonna call this dots logo, and then I press tab. It puts the div in its own class called logo. Because then when we're gonna use CSS, it's gonna put stuff in its own class, and it's gonna make it easier. So then I'm just gonna press enter just to make it look nice. And then we've got these things called headers. Headers are basically like the first words of text you see. Like I'm gonna put H1. H1 is your first header. Now with each header that comes after H1, like H1, H2, and H3, each one will be smaller than the last. So if I do header, which, okay, do I do header and then another header and then another header? If I save this, and if you can see here, each one is smaller than the last, you know. And also, just to demonstrate how this div works, if I put another H1, just H's, okay, and then I save, you can see, you can't really see it, but you'll see it when we add a background, that all of these three headers are contained. Like actually, you can notice it. There's a big gap over here, you know. So basically, these three are contained in their own box. So I'm just gonna delete this. Okay, so we're gonna call this Walkman. I'm gonna do it in all, all caps. Okay, and then we've got our, look again, our next div, which are these three things. So yeah, I'll just put another div. So we're gonna call this one sections. Okay, and then this one's gonna have, we're gonna make these small. We can use less, but we're gonna do, yeah, we're gonna just make these small. We're gonna do H2 for this. Okay, I said we weren't gonna put about, but we're just gonna put about. So about, okay, H2 product, and then another H2 customer support. You know, okay, we're just doing this as we go. So then now we've got our stuff like that. When we work with CSS, we're gonna find a way to get these three into this one row. But for now, we're just gonna keep it like this. Okay, so that's another div. Our next one is this large div with an image over here. Okay, so we're just gonna put another divider here, and this divider is gonna be an about page. So we're gonna put another, yeah, dot, uh, we're just gonna call it menu img tab. Okay, now for paragraphs, you've got this other thing you can use called P. P is short for paragraph. So I press that, there you go. So anything I type in here will end up in P. And so what we're gonna do, we're gonna work with Walkman. So okay, I'm just gonna open a wiki page. Just gonna copy and paste the first thing that I see. Assume my internet picks up, because it does seem rather slow today. Okay, here you go. So what we're just gonna copy this, just the first part. Okay, and then we're just gonna paste this all in here. All of this nonsense, and then okay, where's P? There you go. Just go to press enter here. So then there you go. All of the stuff is contained. So now if we go back, here you go. Here's the information on Walkman. And then within this div, because I want to put an image in here, but I don't know where the image will go. Put img, and then we need a source of the image, but we're gonna we could add a picture now, just to make it easier. So I'm just gonna put Sony CEO from the 80s. Look for his picture. Just gonna assume it's this guy. Copy, save image as. Gonna go desktop. Website start. CEO. Okay, to JPEG. So now our source, like src, our source, this is where the file is going to be from. So then we're going to do CEO dot JPEG. See, it's already figured out because if we open here, you can see I added it in here. So then we close that, and then just an alternate name for it. I'm just going to call it CEO. There you go. Save it. Close this, and it updates. See, there it is underneath. But again, because now we're just working with HTML, everything's going to come one after each other. But then when we work with CSS, we're going to have these the way we want it, and we're also going to fix this image size. Okay. And then, okay, right underneath this, now we've got another set of divs. But we're just going to do one large one for this. Again, sorry about that. Just got a bit of a cold. Okay, so now we've got one large div. So then underneath this, divs, products, space, and then there you go. So not updates, and even though it's not showing, the div is actually there. It is underneath them, But yeah, that's it for HTML. A lot of websites in 2003. I'm sure I can find a lot of websites in 2003 looked like this. And 2002. Let's just go websites 2001. Okay, there's a Vice article, but they might sue me or something. Top 50 websites of February 2001. We'll just look at this. Okay, now. Like, you'll come across them. I think I'm looking for them, that they don't look so great. I mean, I could go Google images and that, but yeah, look. Some of them didn't look that. A lot of them didn't look that great. Actually, a lot of them looked like this. That was it. A lot of them looked like, compared to most websites now. I mean, even look at the website I'm on right now, showing me what this website looks like now. They just didn't look. At the time, this was impressive back then, but like now, it's like, it's very basic, and this is HTML. So I hope that's helpful. Part 2, we're gonna be working with CSS. I'm gonna put a link. I'm gonna put links for Visual Studio Code in the description down below. Yeah. And yeah, I guess that's it. Like and subscribe. I hope you enjoyed the video. And also self promotion for myself. I wrote a book. It's a story that I've been working on since I was 15. I actually finished the book when I was 17. I just never got around to publishing it, but I published it through Amazon. It's a good read. It's an urban fantasy. Did a lot of re-edits on it. I've actually got book two ready, but I'm going to wait a while before I put that out. It's on Amazon for about, I think, $9. I think. Give it a read. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you next time.